10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go Transporter-16.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
At T+30 seconds into flight, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base. We're currently throttling down to prepare for Max Q, which is the point of maximum aerodynamic stresses on the
Power and
vehicle.
telemetry nominal.
Max Q is reached when the air density of the atmosphere decreases faster than the increasing speed of the rocket.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
So now we're just waiting to hear that call out for Max Q.
Max Q.
And there was our call out. So Merlin engines are back at full power and we're out of the throttle bucket. From here on, even though velocity is rapidly increasing, the atmospheric density is decreasing, resulting in less loads on Falcon 9. And coming up next, we'll have several events happening in quick succession, starting with MECO, followed by stage separation, and second engine start. And second engine start, or SES-1. Main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 Merlin 1D engines shut down to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation, which is where the first stage separates from the second stage. Then the MVAC engine on the second stage will light, which is called out as Second Engine Start 1, or SES-1. This engine burn, lasting several minutes, will propel the second stage and our payloads to orbit. After that, the fairing will jettison from the second stage, as it's no longer needed to protect those payloads once we're in space. So we should be hearing the first of these callouts in just a few moments.
Main engine cut off. Stage separation confirmed. MVAC ignition.
And there you heard and saw those 3 events that happened back to back, including main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start 1. Coming up next will be fairing separation.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there we heard confirmation of fairing separation along with a great view of those 2 halves separating from the vehicle on your screen. And as a reminder, those fairings will be making their way back to Earth for recovery. The next major milestone coming up is entry burn on our Falcon 9 first stage, which is scheduled to occur around the T+6 minute mark. The entry burn is used to slow the first stage as it heads back towards our drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
We're currently in our first MVAC burn, and this burn should last for another few minutes. And the next milestone will be the first stage entry burn, coming up in about 2 minutes. Now today, Falcon 9 is performing 2 burns in order to land. The first burn, known as the entry burn, slows the vehicle down before hitting the denser parts of Earth's atmosphere. And without this burn, we'd only be using the atmospheric drag to slow down Falcon 9, which would add extra stress to the vehicle. And then following entry burn, the booster will initiate the landing burn, which should slow the vehicle down even more for a successful land landing. When Falcon 9 fires up the center M1D engine for re-entry, the vehicle will be flying through Merlin's exhaust gases, also known as the rocket's plume, which deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle surface. And you'll see these marks across the flight-proven Falcon 9 first stage fleet. That soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses, and with each flight, the soot builds up a little bit more on the outside of the vehicle. And the first stage supporting today's mission is making its 12th flight right now. It previously launched the SDA-T1TLB and SDA-T1TLC missions, as well as 9 Starlink missions. We're under a minute away from the start of the entry burn on the Falcon 9 first stage. And you can check out the telemetry on the bottom of your screen. And we can see that that second stage is still picking up speed and heading towards its destined orbit. So we are coming up now on the beginning of the entry burn. You should see the graphics light up as the engines do on the bottom of your screen.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 FTS safe.
And there was the call out for the entry burn startup on the Falcon 9 first stage. This burn is set to last about 25 seconds and again is slowing the vehicle down in preparation for its final burn and landing.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And that concludes our entry burn. As mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to recover this booster, and today that booster is targeting a landing on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. You can follow along with the burn in the engine graphic at the bottom of your screen. And as the burn happens, you'll notice a decrease in both speed and altitude. And then during the landing burn, we are expecting the shutdown of the second stage MVAC engine. This is known as Second Engine Cutoff 1 or SECA 1. We're still around 30 seconds away from the beginning of that landing burn. Again, this is the final burn of the Falcon 9 first stage.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Before landing on our drone ship.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And there you heard that call out for landing burn start on the Falcon 9 first stage. Again, this is the final burn that this booster will execute before touching down.
MVAC shutdown. Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Stage 1 landing confirmed. Stage 2 FTS safe.
And as you saw and probably heard, we had a successful first stage landing and successful cutoff of our second stage engine and the call out for good orbit. So coming up next, we have the second burn of our MVAC engine on board the second stage, or SES-2, around the T+51 minute mark.